Hello, I'm going to show you proof of why Brother Felix Manalo is not the last messenger, so stay tuned and watch this video. First off, let me just say that I love you Iglesia Ni Cristo members. You and I, we're not enemies. We both believe in God, we both love God. Like you guys watching, and as a former Iglesia Ni Cristo member, I believed in this teaching wholeheartedly. So this is a foundational doctrine of the Iglesia Ni Cristo, and if it's proven false, then the entire basis of the Iglesia Ni Cristo falls. Why should we examine our beliefs? Let's read 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Dear friends, do not believe everyone who claims to speak by the Spirit. You must test them to see if the Spirit they have comes from God. As we can see, it's biblical to test what we hear, because although some teachings can appear as if they are from God, they can actually be false teachings. It's important to study Bible passages and Bible stories within their context. When you take verses out of context, it leads to all kinds of errors and misunderstandings. The Iglesia Ni Cristo teaches that the prophecies about Brother Felix Manalo are written in the book of Isaiah. During this time, the Israelites were scattered by their conquerors, the Assyrians and the Babylonians. When the Assyrians were in power, they owned the territories around Palestine. When the Babylonians defeated the Assyrians, they became the new owners of those territories where the Israelites and Judeans were exiled to. Let's examine Isaiah 41, 9-10.
I have called you back from the ends of the earth, saying, You are my servant, for I have chosen you, and will not throw you away. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand.
The Iglesia Ni Cristo teaches that this biblical prophecy points to Felix Manalo, whom God would send to lead God's church, or the Iglesia Ni Cristo, from the ends of the earth. And the ends of the earth refers to a time when the second coming of Jesus Christ is near. And the Iglesia Ni Cristo says that this was fulfilled during the commencement of the First World War, which is also the same time the Iglesia Ni Cristo emerged in the Philippines. Is this verse referring to Felix Manalo or ancient Israel? The answer is simply one verse before.
But as for you, Israel my servant, Jacob my chosen one, descended from Abraham my friend.
The Iglesia Ni Cristo reasons that the one prophesied about can't be ancient Israel because, number one, the one prophesied is also called by the Bible as last in Isaiah 41 verse 4, New Revised Standard Version. The ancient nation of Israel isn't the last. Number two, the Bible mentioned that the one being referred to by the prophecies was called from the ends of the earth, which they say is a time, not a place. Let's read Isaiah 41 verse 4. The Iglesia Ni Cristo uses the New Revised Standard Version. Who has performed and done this, calling the generations from the beginning? I, the Lord, am first, and will be with the last. In my Bible, in the New Living Translation, it reads, Who has done such mighty deeds, summoning each new generation from the beginning of time? It is I, the Lord, the first and the last. I alone am He. For their first point to make sense, they had to use this translation. In point number two, the phrase ends of the earth does not refer to a time, but it refers to a place. It simply means to the furthest reaches of the land, and this phrase is actually in the Bible 28 times. In two examples, let's read Job 28:24 and Jeremiah 51:16. For he looks to the ends of the earth and sees everything under the heavens. When he utters his voice, there is a tumult of waters in the heavens, and he makes the mist rise from the ends of the earth. He makes lightning for the rain, and he brings forth the wind from his storehouses. Let's pretend that this phrase ends of the earth means what the Iglesia Ni Cristo teaches. We're now confronted with this question. Are the other 27 times referring to a time when God's people in these last days would re-emerge in the Philippines? The answer is no, it refers to a place. It simply means the furthest reaches of the land. With this understanding, let's read Isaiah 41, verse 14 and 15. The Iglesia Ni Cristo teaches that Felix Manalo is the one being referred to as the worm Jacob. Though you are a lowly worm, O Jacob, don't be afraid, people of Israel, for I will help you. I am the Lord your Redeemer. I am the Holy One of Israel. You will be a new threshing instrument, with many sharp teeth. You will tear your enemies apart, making chaff of mountains. As discovered in the previous verses, this refers to Israel. It's a reminder that Israel has no strength of its own, but is as a worm and no man. They weren't chosen because they were a great and mighty nation, for Israel was the least of all people. Let's examine another part of the prophecy that the Iglesia Ni Cristo teaches. In Isaiah 46:11-13, they say that Felix Manalo would come from the Far East or the Philippines. But before we get into chapter 46, let's read chapter 45 and see what's going on. This is what the Lord says to Cyrus, his anointed one, whose right hand he will empower. Before him mighty kings will be paralyzed with fear. Their fortress gates will be opened, never to shut again. This is what the Lord says. I will go before you, Cyrus, and level the mountains. I will smash down gates of bronze and cut through bars of iron. And I will give you treasures hidden in the darkness, secret riches. I will do this so you may know that I am the Lord, and God of Israel, the one who calls you by name. And why have I called you for this work? Why did I call you by name when you did not know me? It is for the sake of Jacob, my servant, Israel, my chosen one. I am the Lord, there is no other God. I have equipped you for battle, though you don't even know me, so all the world from east to west will know there is no other God. I am the Lord, and there is no other. I create the light and make the darkness. I send good times and bad times. I, the Lord, am the one who does these things. Now let's read the first verses of chapter 46, and then we'll go to the prophecy. This is titled Babylon's False Gods. Bel and Nebo, the gods of Babylon, bow as they are lowered to the ground. They are being hauled away on ox carts. The poor beasts stagger under the weight. Both the idols and their owners are bowed down. The gods cannot protect the people, and the people cannot protect the gods. They go off into captivity together. Listen to me, descendants of Jacob, all you who remain in Israel. I have cared for you since you were born. Yes, I carried you before you were born. I will be your God throughout your lifetime, until your hair is white with age. I made you, and I will care for you. I will carry you along and save you. I will call a swift bird of prey from the east, a leader from a distant land, to come and do my bidding. I have said what I would do, and I will do it. Isaiah 45 verse 1 and verse 4 are about a man named Cyrus, who's from the east, or Persia, and sent to defeat the Babylonians and to allow the captive Israelites to return home to Jerusalem. The beginning of chapter 46 is about how Cyrus would carry out God's judgment on Babylon, on account of the rapidity of his marches from the distant regions of Persia to pounce on his prey. And also, the standard of Cyrus was a golden eagle on a spear. The ravenous bird being referred to in verse 11 is Cyrus. Even though it's clear that these verses are referring to ancient Israel and Cyrus, let's look at one more verse. Let's examine the verse used by the Iglesia Ni Cristo that says Far East. Let's read Isaiah 43 verse 5 and 6 in the Mofat translation. From the far east will I bring your offspring, and from the far west I will gather you. I will bid the north lands give them up, and bid the south let go, bringing my sons from afar, and my daughters from the end of the earth. The New Living Translation reads, Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will gather you and your children from east and west. I will say to the north and south, Bring my sons and daughters back to Israel, from the distant corners of the earth. As we can see, my Bible translation does not have far east, but rather east. We see that the Iglesia Ni Cristo needs the Mofat translation to prove their point. Let's recall earlier that the Iglesia Ni Cristo also needed the New Revised Standard Version to prove their point. Brothers and sisters, I would strongly urge you to come with an open mind and an open heart. It's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about knowing the truth. My passion is to help Iglesia Ni Cristo members come to truth and to experience the true love of God. Hit the subscribe button down here. And if you're on a mobile device, click on the subscribe button down below because annotations won't work for you. If you have an Iglesia Ni Cristo friend or family member, please feel free to share it with them if you think they could benefit from it. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video.